So what happened is I'm watching Mars Attacks, the Tim Burton movie the other day. And I think Tim Burton's a genius. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not accusing him of anything, but this is an awfully weird similarity. If you ever see the movie Mars Attacks, I just saw it on video. Most of us didn't see it. You saw it.
Yeah.
The whole thing is these midget aliens come to Earth with the president, and they finally at the end, believe me, I'm not ruining this movie for you, they figure out that yodeling, Slim Whitman music.
Yes, they're invincible. They can't figure out how to kill them.
Yeah, the Martians are winning. And at the end, the only thing that kills them is Slim Whitman music. I'm sitting there, I'm going, wait a second. I know I've heard this somewhere before. I know I've seen this somewhere. And sure enough, I remembered that the first week we were at NBC, Fred and I did this bit. Now, I'm going to tell you something. It ain't a great bit. Like the movie.
You're apologizing already.
Like the movie, the bit sucks. But nevertheless, I had to at least go down in history as saying that when you see this movie, you will see that Fred and I had something to do with the inspiration of this movie. Now, I don't know who wrote this movie. I'd like to hear from the guy.
Is it possible?
Go ahead.
That the person who wrote this film
was a fan?
Was a fan and listened, sort of listened to the show. Then a few years later, he was writing a movie, and this seat just slipped into...
Robin, when you hear this bit, you're going to say, how could anybody base a movie... if you heard this bit, you'd say, this is the last thing we should put in a movie. And yet somebody heard this and felt it should be made into a movie.
Well, George Harrison did it with My Sweet Lord. He didn't remember.
All right, here, just to go on record, Robin, I'll play this. I'm not particularly proud of the bit. All right, here we go. Oops.
And now, the Howard Stern Radio Network presents... Una Paloma Blanca... Slim Whitman versus the midget aliens from Mars. When we last left you, the Earth was being attacked by midget aliens from Mars.
Dag-nabbit! I'm going to turn on the television set and find out what the hell all this damn commotion's all about, by cracky.
This is an NBC News update. I'm Jessica Sabotage. The only thing that could save the Earth from the midget aliens from Mars is a loud, piercing, and obnoxious yodel sung by a cheap Don Amici lookalike.
Dag-nabbit, what fool would be calling me at a time like this here? Hello, this is Slim Whitman's stepfather.
Hello, guess who this is?
Give me a hint.
Okay, knock knock.
Who's there?
President.
President who?
President Reagan.
President Reagan requested the services of Slim Whitman. His piercing yodel could be the only noise to crack the eardrums of the midget aliens.
The president says for you to go out and yodel those damn midget Martians out of here. Sure, Paul.
Young Slim Whitman gave it all he had when he met head-on with the midget aliens from Mars. It was a battle extraordinaire. Slim gave it his best. The Martians gave it their best. Oh, it went on for days.
I'll take this bit.
Yodel breaks glass. Oh, the Aurora of Texas and the Mama of the Sea.
Eventually, Slim defeated the midget aliens. He eliminated all of their spacecraft and all of their advanced nuclear weaponry. Unfortunately, Slim's death yodel also eliminated most of the Earth as well. Buildings crumbled, windows shattered, people crushed. Richard Simmons' capped teeth cracked.
Una Paloma Blanca.
You hear anything more annoying?
This concludes Slim Whitman versus the midget aliens from Mars.
Yeah, it's really bad. But it was no worse than the movie.
No, you're right about that.
It was the same thing. There it is.
Why wouldn't you use real Slim Whitman?
There was real Slim Whitman and fake Slim Whitman.
Yeah, but, why wouldn't you just go with the real?
Who knows? I mean, there's a million things wrong with it. I mean, Fred was never more annoying, ever.
By cracky.
By cracky. I mean, awful.
Jessica Sabotage?
Yeah, just awful. We were under a lot of duress, as you saw in the movie. 1982, and not only that, they told us everything had to be super clean. That was the only thing we could come up with. I mean, we were used to being dirty. Right. It was like all of a sudden, what do you mean we got to be clean? We don't know how to do that.
It was like we were sent to our room when we were producing stuff.
Who did you hire? Clean. You want clean? Hire, Tom Poston.
That's like a bad Saturday Night Live bit.
Worse.
I'll take that.
Yeah. In all fairness, I could play a lot of bits from NBC that were real good.
Yeah.
But that was not one of them.
I don't know why you even reminded us of that.
Well, I wanted credit for Mars Attacks because as lame as that was, Mars Attacks was, the same exact thing. Literally, the president gets involved.
And they were midget aliens.
And they were midget aliens.
And they spoke gibberish.
Right.
Ooh.
You saw the movie. I mean, it was,
Yeah.
It was just a weird coincidence, and it, freaked me out. Yeah. Those are the aliens.
Yeah.
Quank, quank.
And they did. They talked just like, I guess.
Yeah.
You're responsible for that entire film.
Yeah. If I had known that, I would have made it into a movie.
It's amazing.
It is. That's not how to play it for you. I'm sitting there going, whoa. I played for my daughter, and she was like, wow, you better call Robin and Fred. Not Jackie. Jackie's like, oh, great. Now they'll get a whole bunch of money, and I wasn't involved.
I want screen credit. Head writer for Mars Attacks.
Right. Anyway, you should be proud you're not part of that bit.
I was just going to say that. Slammed up.
Right.
He was writing skunk jokes in North Carolina.
Right.
To do in strip joints.
You bet.
I'd go see anything that Tim directed. I really would.
You know what's great about the film?
We like Mars Attacks, and you crucified for that.
Except in France.
Yeah, in France, they say you're a genius. I love that film. That is just funny. Those goddamn macho. And you know what? I got to ask you about this. Years ago, when I was at NBC Radio, now this is like 16, 17 years ago. The first day I get there, they say you got to do recorded bits. We don't want you talking extemporaneously because every time you do, the FCC gets involved, and it's all wrong, and you shouldn't talk on the air. So I write this bit called Slim Whitman Meets the Aliens from Mars.
Oh, wow.
And the bit was, I have to play it for you one time.
Yeah, because we did after the show. Your movie came out. We replayed it.
It was a bunch of aliens come down from another planet, and the only way they can be defeated is to play Slim Whitman and watch their heads explode. I swear to God. So
absolutely true.
Fred and I wrote it together, and we did it in 5 episodes. So we had episodic radio. And not that the bit was so great, but when I saw the film, I go, Fred, that's our bit.
You should have sued me.
No, I wouldn't sue you because I love you too much. But I'm sure somebody, I don't know how it's you wrote that film, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's something about Slim's voice is very sonic.
We played Uma Polona, and then we go, Uma Polona Blanco, and the aliens' heads would explode, and that's how they got rid of the aliens. Oh, my God. I mean, it was really freaky. And why did we write that, Fred? Because we were fascinated with Slim Whitman.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
because there were a lot of Slim Whitman, those commercials on it.
Boxcar Willie. It could have been Boxcar Willie.
Yeah, so I was freaked out.
That is that's the most amazing thing I've ever.
That somebody had a movie about that. so that we had the same idea.
When they discover how to get rid of the aliens, they're like, oh, my God.
Yeah, it's just so freaky.